Hi guys, made this video for you today so that we could revise the fractions topic in preparation for our test at the end of the week. So this will go through the different skills that you will need to complete questions in your test. I'll do some that are yellow skills and some that are purple skills. As we know, some people will be sitting the purple test and some people will be sitting the yellow test. Once this video is done, you'll have a chance to work through the revision sheets as well, so they should be printed for you, or you will see them on the Teams page. And you'll be able to work through the fraction sections and any other ones that you can work through as well after this video. So the first thing we'll do with fractions is to convert between mixed numbers and top-heavy fractions and back and forth that way as well. The first thing then we've got here are 3 top-heavy fractions to convert to mixed numbers. Now to do this, we have to look at, for A, how many times 5, the number on the bottom, goes into 12, the number on the top. So 5 goes into 12 twice, that's our large number at the front. We have a remainder of 2 from that process, so that goes on the top of our fraction, and the denominator always stays the same. So 2 and 2/5 is the mixed number version of 12 over 5. For B, 3 goes into 11 3 times. We have a remainder of 2 again for this one, so that's our numerator, and our denominator stays as 3. So 3 and 2/3 for B. 7 goes into 24 3 times, with a remainder of 3, so we put 3 on the top, and we keep our numerator as 7. Okay, so if ever you need to change to a mixed number, that is the process that you will use. To convert the other way then, to go from mixed numbers to top-heavy fractions, we've got a little process that will allow us to get that value on the top for the numerator. We take the large number, multiply it by the denominator, and then add on the numerator. So for A, 1 times 3 is 3, add on 2 is 5, so we get 5 over 3. The process for converting from top-heavy to a mixed number is a little bit easier, so you can always check that with your top-heavy fraction to make sure that it does indeed make the mixed number you started with. For question B, we take the large number of 2, multiply it by 5, so that's 10, plus 1 is 11, and we get 11 over 5 as our top-heavy fraction. For C, 3 times 7 is 21, add on the 4, so we get 25 over 7 for our top-heavy fraction for C. Both yellow and purple assessments will require you to do at least one of these skills, so please make sure you are able to, and there's a couple of those in your revision sheets to help you revise that skill as well. Moving on to our calculations with fractions. For the yellow, those of you sitting the yellow test, you'll be looking at completing questions where you've got to find a fraction of a quantity and questions similar to the ones at the bottom with calculations. To do fractions of a quantity, we take our value of 15, we divide by the bottom and we multiply by the top. So we do 15 divided by 5 and multiplied by 2. For this one then we would get 15 divided by 5 is 3, times 2 is 6, and our answer would be 6. We have seen this process before, we know how to do this. So for B, 35 divided by the denominator, divided by 7, and multiplied by the top, multiplied by 3. 35 divided by 7 being 5, times 3 is 15, so our final answer for that one is 15. For our fractions calculations, we have to add and subtract fractions. We have the same denominator for these ones, so now that we have the same denominator, we keep that as the same, and our denominator and our answer is going to be 7. We add our 2 numerators together, perform the calculation that's in the middle. 3 plus 1 is 4, so we've got 4 over 7. For B, we've got the common denominator again, so that stays as 5. We've got 4, subtract 2 this time. 4 take away 2 is 2, and therefore our answer is 2 over 5. The process for multiplying fractions, you'll need to be able to do this as well. You multiply your 2 top numbers together to get your numerator, so 6 times 2 is 12. Put that over your denominator, which is 11 times 5, so 55. 12 over 55 being the answer to that one. If you see questions like that, this is the process that you will use. Purple fractions calculations, they're just a little bit trickier. We have different denominators for question A and B, and also we have mixed numbers involved as well. First thing we have to do is to create a common denominator. Now we do that through multiplying. We use the method called smile and kiss. We multiply the two bottom numbers together, which gives us 15. Our kiss then in the middle makes us do 4 times 3, so 12 for the top of the first fraction, 5 times 2, so 10 for the top of the second fraction. We then have a common denominator now, so we keep that as 15, and we add our two top numbers together, 12 plus 10 being 22. We always need to check if we can simplify this fraction. In this case we can't, so we leave it as 22 over 15. You can change that to a mixed number if you want to. It would be 1 and 7 over 15. Question B. Now the most repeatable way to complete questions with mixed numbers is to change them to top-heavy fractions. So 1 and 1/3 would be 4 over 3 through the processes we used on a previous slide. We want to subtract from that 5 over 7. Until we get a common denominator, we can't do that. So the common denominator here would be 3 times 7, 21. And our two numerators, 4 times 7, so 28. And 3 times 5, so 15. We will then need to subtract these values on the top, leaving our common denominator of 21. So we get 28 take away 15, which is 13. That can't go to a mixed number and cannot be simplified, so we leave as is. Question 6 then. We've got to multiply these two fractions together. Now again with mixed numbers, and in fact the reason I told you to do that for the previous question is because for multiplying and dividing with mixed numbers, we must change these to top-heavy fractions first. So 2 times 3 plus 2, we will get 8 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 5. Now, to multiply fractions, as we saw with the yellow questions, the two top numbers multiplied together, that gives us 24. The two bottom numbers multiplied together, so we get 15. What we need to be careful here with is that we can possibly simplify the fractions. In this case, we can divide top and bottom here by 3, and we would get 8 over 5. And again, we can change this into a mixed number as well. 5 goes into 8 once with a remainder of 3. So 1 and 3 over 5 as our result. Question 6b. We've got to divide fractions. We use the mantra keep, change, flip. Now that's because to create this calculation, we keep the first fraction, 4 over 9. We change the divide symbol to a multiply. And we flip the second fraction, so that becomes 3 over 2. Now once we've done that, we're able to multiply these fractions as we did in previous questions. So 4 times 3 being 12, 9 times 2 being 18. And again, just always checking if we can simplify, so we can divide top and bottom here by 6, and we would get an answer of 2 over 3. Okay. So those are the basics of the calculations. It recaps the full topic that we saw with fractions. Of course, we completed that topic over several weeks, but this was just a recap of it. If you can now please complete your revision worksheets, mainly focusing on the fractions questions, as that's what we've just gone over here, but feel free to complete any other questions as well that you are able to do. Okay, you'll find these possibly printed for you, but they will be on the Teams page as well if you've got access to the Chromebooks. Okay, I will be available on the Teams page if you need me, so please direct any questions there if you need to.